Have you ever stopped to think about what would really happen if the Earth just suddenly stopped spinning? It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but if it ever happened, it would be one of the most terrifying events our world could experience. Right now, even as you're sitting here, the ground beneath you is moving at over 1.600 kilometers per hour at the equator. You can't feel it, but this silent spin is what gives us day and night, shapes the winds, creates weather patterns, and even affects how much you weigh. But if, in just one instant, this spin came to a halt, everything we know about our world would be destroyed in a wave of unstoppable chaos. In the very first moments, the atmosphere would continue moving at the same speed the Earth was spinning before it stopped. This means winds would tear across the surface of the Earth at over 1.600 kilometers per hour. More than 5 times stronger than the most powerful hurricanes on Earth. These winds would shred buildings, flatten forests, and fling cars, debris, and even people across the land as if they weighed nothing. The air would be filled with dust, fragments of rock, and water, turning into a deadly sandblaster that would scour the surface of the planet. Entire cities would be reduced to rubble in seconds, leaving behind a barren, broken landscape. Then, the oceans would respond. Because of the Earth's rotation, water is pushed outward at the equator, creating a bulge that keeps sea levels about 8 kilometers higher there than at the poles. Without the spin, this bulge would collapse, and the water would begin to migrate toward the poles. Imagine massive walls of water thousands of meters high moving across entire continents, swallowing coastlines, flooding inland valleys, and wiping out everything in their path. Cities like New York, Tokyo, and London would disappear under these unstoppable waves. Countries would be erased from the map, and the shape of the continents themselves would change forever. If you somehow managed to survive these first catastrophic moments, you would find yourself in a world you wouldn't even recognize. Without the Earth's rotation, there would no longer be a 24-hour cycle of day and night. Instead, one side of the Earth would face the sun permanently, while the other side would remain in endless darkness. On the day side, the sun would hang motionless in the sky, burning the land below with relentless heat. Temperatures would rise to levels that would boil away rivers, dry up lakes, and crack the ground into lifeless dust. Without the cooling effect of night, the heat would never leave, turning the land into a scorching desert wasteland. On the dark side of the Earth, the opposite would happen. Without the warmth of the sun, temperatures would drop to freezing, creating an endless winter. The air would turn cold enough to freeze the moisture within it, and the land would be covered in ice and snow. No plants could grow, and no animals could survive the darkness and cold that would last forever. Between these two extremes, there would be a narrow twilight zone where the sun would forever sit on the horizon, creating a thin strip of land where survival might be possible. But even here, life would be harsh. The extreme differences in temperature between the scorching day side and the freezing night side would create violent winds and storms that would circle the planet endlessly. Massive storms, hurricanes, and lightning would tear across this twilight zone, making it a place of constant danger. Surviving here would be a constant fight against the weather, the lack of resources, and the chaos of a planet that no longer had a cycle of day and night. But even if humans managed to find a way to live in this twilight zone, there would be another danger waiting for them. Silent and invisible, the Earth's magnetic field, which protects us from harmful solar radiation, is created by the movement of molten iron in the Earth's outer core, a process influenced by the planet's rotation. If the Earth stopped spinning, this movement would slow down and eventually stop, causing the magnetic field to weaken and collapse. Without this shield, radiation from the sun and cosmic rays would bombard the planet, increasing cancer risks, damaging electronics, and slowly stripping away the atmosphere. You might see auroras dancing across the skies worldwide, but they would be a warning of the deadly radiation reaching the surface. The redistribution of water would reshape the entire Earth. With the equatorial bulge gone, water would rush toward the poles, creating new oceans while exposing land near the equator that was once underwater. But this newly exposed land would be barren, lifeless, and cracked, with no soil, no vegetation, and no life. The weight of the water moving toward the poles would place immense pressure on the Earth's crust, causing earthquakes and volcanic eruptions as the land adjusted to the new distribution of mass. Mountains could crumble, volcanoes could erupt, and ash would fill the skies, adding to the destruction already caused by the loss of the planet's spin. Gravity would also change in a subtle but significant way. Right now, the Earth's rotation creates a centrifugal force that slightly counteracts gravity, making you weigh a tiny bit less at the equator than at the poles. If the Earth stopped spinning, you would weigh about 0.3% more than you do now. It might not sound like much, but it would affect everything from the way buildings are constructed to how your body feels as you move. Over time, the Earth would become a planet of extremes. The once blue and green Earth, filled with forests, oceans, mountains, and cities, would become a world split in two. One side burning under the constant sun, the other side frozen in endless darkness, separated by a violent twilight zone. The oceans would shift, continents would crack, storms would rage, and the air would become thin and filled with radiation. Plants and animals would struggle to survive, ecosystems would collapse, and human civilization would fall under the weight of constant storms, unbearable heat, freezing cold, and deadly radiation. The Earth would become a silent, desolate place, drifting through space as a reminder of how dependent life is on the fragile balance of forces we often take for granted. Thankfully, this terrifying scenario will never happen. Stopping the Earth's spin would require an unimaginable force, something so powerful it would destroy the planet before it could ever stop rotating. In reality, the Earth's spin is slowing down very slowly, at about 1.7 milliseconds per century, due to the gravitational pull of the Moon. But this process will take billions of years, and the Earth will never fully stop spinning during the lifetime of humanity. The spin of the Earth, which we don't notice, is one of the many silent miracles that make life possible, giving us days and nights, winds, weather, and seasons. So the next time you feel the breeze on your face, watch the sunrise, or see the stars move across the sky, remember that it's all possible because our planet is spinning steadily, quietly creating the conditions that allow life to exist. It's a reminder of how small we are and how precious the balance of nature truly is. Now, I want to ask you, what would you do if you knew the Earth was going to stop spinning tomorrow? Would you prepare for the storms, say goodbye to the sunrise, or just spend your last day watching the sky change one final time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this journey into one of the most mind-blowing, what-if scenarios interesting, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss more incredible stories about the mysteries of our world and beyond.